Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Seeing that it's October and one of my favorite holidays is just around the corner, uh, I decided to watch Evil Dead 2, finally. And I noticed that the continuity really isn't that clear cut. However, it does lead into Army of Darkness, which I consider one of my favorite horror films of all time. And Evil Dead 2 ranks up there as well because there is a lot of comedy in it. Bruce Campbell's expressions are just hysterical. It just his modulation and his face, it's just, I'm not sure how he does it, but it's incredible. He's almost elastic like Jim Carrey is. And yet he's playing a very serious role, and all these terrible, horrible, irreprehensible things occur within the duration of the film, and he feels sorry for his character, but there's something that comes in handy within the duration of the film. You figure that out as soon as you watch it, but this actually gives more of a story to how the Necronicom was found. And of course, from the first movie you have the tape player, which is still there. Why didn't anybody ever get rid of it? That they just think, oh well, nobody's here, just leave it be. Wouldn't you think somebody would become suspicious about something like that and think, I don't know if this is such a good idea. I think we should just give this to Goodwill or something. Personally, I wouldn't give anything like that to Goodwill, or an Ouija board for that matter, but that's another story entirely. But as far as films are concerned, I think this is far better than the first, because the first one was kind of repetitive, and there are some cliches. If you've seen horror films and you know that something's going to pop out and scare you, there are some good scares in this. I really enjoyed it, and the one thing I really liked was the twistedness of it, with the mother's involvement, and she was locked up in the cellar because the archaeologist who found the Book of the Dead, he recited the words in it, which, why would you do that? I mean, the stupidity. He's a learned man. I would never do such a thing. If you don't know what these words are going to do, wouldn't you know not to recite them? But, you know, logic is not this film's strong suit. Then you just turn your brain off and enjoy. But I like the comedy in this film. It's just dark comedy, and it's really enjoyable. And it's kind of like a zombie movie, only there are people becoming possessed by evil spirits, and it's just a different way of presenting a subject such as this one. And we've seen that before in The Exorcist, which is far more terrifying, and I don't think I could ever watch that film because I would probably have nightmares for weeks. But this is, even though there's a lot of intense violence and there's just copious amounts of gore and blood, which I enjoy, it's actually got some tender moments with Ash and his lady fair, and of course she's the first to go after Ash finds the tape player and plays the recording that the archaeologist made. See, I would never have done that. I would have just looked at something like that suspiciously and thought, I don't think this is such a great idea. And my gut intuition tells me I should probably leave this relic alone because I don't know what's on it, and it's somebody else's information, and I have no right to that, even though I'm in this house. And but one thing I really enjoyed were the one-liners that Ash had in this film. But the best one-liners he has are in Army of Darkness, which is fantastic. Awesome film. Rocks. In this one, his hand becomes infected, and some of the most comical scenes occur with his hand giving him trouble, and he takes his shotgun to shoot it, and then this is my favorite part. You hear, "Oh no, you got me!" And then all this blood starts pouring out of the walls, and then everything in the house starts laughing at him, including the deer head, which I would love to see that in a haunted house, because I would think it would be so funny, but just terrifying at the same time. But in this case, it was very amusing, and I was laughing so hard because I thought, yeah, that's the hunter's worst nightmare. I know, my friend, he would absolutely hate that if his recently killed deer came back to life and laughed at him. But more with him, it would be turkeys because he can never really get one. He's never been able to shoot one, but poor guy. Um, Other than that, really can't say too much about Evil Dead other than the continuity just doesn't matter at all. Except this one kind of ties in, sort of, kind of, a little bit with Evil Dead, with first Evil Dead, and more so with Army of Darkness, as it talks about. He gets a shiver down his back when the daughter comes and talks about this illustration that she finds in the book. I'm not going to give away what it is, but it'll give away a huge plot point if I did. But that's for later. If you've seen Army of Darkness, you know what I'm talking about. But I would give this movie 4 stars. I really liked it. 2 thumbs up. I mean, there were parts of it that were kind of drawn out, and I probably would have cut because they were unnecessary. But the humor in this movie really won me over, and I just really savored all of it. And the writing was good. And Bruce Campbell is hot. I loved him in this film, and he's just your typical macho ghoul slayer, and this is the perfect film to watch in October. If you don't want to watch something too terribly scary, I wouldn't recommend it for people who are under 13, because it's very violent and gory, and it might be a little bit terrifying when they see these creatures. Well, it's very, you can tell that it's low budget. It's obvious, and especially with the stop. I actually like the stop motion in this one, when Ash's girlfriend is resurrected and she's dancing, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. It kind of reminded me of Clash of the Titans or Jason and the Argonauts, just the way it's done. And stop motion, I guess, at the time was still coming about. And nowadays you can't even tell because they do it with computers and mocap. But I really don't know what else to say other than the other obvious thing I noticed about the movie was the way the Necronicom looked. If you look very carefully, it's extremely demonic looking, and I would never pick up a book that looks like that. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but if something looked that sinister and like it could bite my hand off, I wouldn't be picking it up, especially if it's inked in blood and you don't know what the letters even mean. And even if you did know what the incantations were and what forces they could unleash, I wouldn't be reciting those incantations. I mean, it's just like having you've got books of necromancy. Yeah, there is a book of necromancy out there somewhere. It's highly controversial. I won't pick up anything like that because necromancy is just not something I want to become involved with. But it's kind of like that. If I had a chance to acquire a book such as the Necronicom, I would say, here, you take it back. I don't want it. Sell it to somebody else. Just don't get me involved. Take it away. It's evil. Burn it. Burn it. But other than that, I really quite like this film, and I intend seeing Shock Therapy, which I'd never heard of it before, but I should have, being a Rocky Horror fan such as I am, big Rocky Horror fan. It's a sequel, well, unofficial sequel, and it didn't do so well as the original, which has a huge cult fan following, including one of my dear friends. Um, let me see. And then after that, I'm going to be watching Solomon Kane. And I will also be watching Wolverine Origins, because I haven't seen that in a long time, and I forget what actually occurs in that. I know a little bit about what it entails, but it's been a while. But I'll let you know as soon as I see it. So, I will see you later, and I will soon be reading Dawn of the Dreadfuls, so stick around.